What is up, people? Today is going to be a very special day. Why? Because I get to drive the new M2 competition. Super excited about this. We're also going to be doing some work though and coaching this guy on some basic driving tips. So, let's go. Kenji, what's up? How's it? It's fine. I'm sure a lot of my viewers are smokers as well. What's up?
Smoking is not good.
Smoking is not good, kids. Yeah, so this is the car, eh? Okay, yeah, there we go.
Chubby chub.
Yo. Okay, so here we are, Kenji Lo in the M3 competition pack. M2 competition pack. I always get them wrong. I still get confused between the M2, 1M, M3, M4. I think they should have just left the damn names the same, like in the good old days. Like a 328i had a 2.8 litre engine. Now, I don't know what has what in anymore. We are in the M2 competition pack. I'm gonna go straight to the sports setting, which is
M1 button on the
okay, so you just press the M1 button over there.
And that's sports plus, sports, okay, that's not the sports steering, that's comfort steering actually.
Yeah, but so the thing is, a lot of the times the sports steering is a bit lame anyways.
Yeah, and that's why I left it in comfort.
Yeah.
Because you get more feedback. Sports is like very electronic. You just a little bit like to the left and it turns.
So it's on manual gearbox as well now?
Yes.
And what happens if I floor it now?
Nothing. Traction's on, so you won't
okay, just turn the traction off.
Okay.
I want to just see what it feels like when I floor it. Okay. Check his nervous smile.
There's 3 traction modes. On, off and MDM mode.
What's that?
It's like a in between.
No, turn it off.
Okay. Yeah, just go to M2 then.
Okay, so M2 is the big daddy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Confirm. To die.
There we go.
Yeah. Okay,
so I'm gonna switch it back on again later. I just wanna float it now and see what happens. Okay, you ready?
Oh yeah.
Whoa. Okay. So you okay there? So what I wanted to show you there was that I showed the viewers this video earlier on. So when something like that happens, the key is to just feel what's happening. To just feel what's happening and then react as it happens. So you anticipate it, and then, because I've never driven this car before, I didn't know what's going to go down there. But I kind of anticipated what happens and make small inputs as necessary. The problem is, I think a lot of times guys make exaggerated inputs.
Yes. Look, with you teaching me now quickly, I think I might be able, because I mean, when I'm driving high speed, especially after that incident on Wednesday, I feel very scared to push this car.
Yeah.
Even with traction control on.
Yeah, that's normal. It's completely normal. After a close call, it's completely normal, because the psychology of driving is exactly that, the psychology of driving. Yeah. So the mental blocks and things like that are often what holds us back and keeps us nervous. I'm still nervous when I think about certain times when I've crashed. I've got to actively block out some of those times, you know, and after those incidents, I've also had to go back and go, okay, so what went wrong and how do I make sure that doesn't happen again? That's the key. So yes, I have written off cars, eh?
That's great to know. Shit.
But only on tracks though, only on racetracks. Okay. On the road, like we're driving on a public road now, we can't go too fast.
Okay.
So the thing is, on a public road, you've got to...
I'm glad you see this as a public road.
Yeah, of course.
Not a racetrack.
No, you've got to factor in like that there are cars coming. You've got to factor in that, you know, the limits here are just not as high as on the racetrack, so you can't push. So if I'm driving at what I call 10/10ths on the track maximum, then on the road you can only go 7-6 max. You shouldn't go more than that.
You mean 60-70%?
60-70%, yeah.
Of the power.
Yeah, not of the power of your personal limit, because there are two limits here. Yeah. There's the car's limit and there's the personal limit.
Yes.
Now, how close your personal limit comes to the car's limit depends on experience.
Yes.
But some people's personal limits are way lower than the car's limits. Yeah. So you need to play within your personal limits first.
Yeah.
Grow that, and then you can start playing within the car's limits.
Yeah.
But it'll come. So if you want to learn more about the driving lesson side of this, you can check out Kenji's channel. What's your handle, by the way?
It's just Kenji Lo.
Kenji Lo. Check out Kenji Lo's channel, and then we're going to go in detail about some driving tips and tricks and things like that. And I'll be covering that over the next couple of months with Kenji in this car. And for now, we're just going to drive this car on the road and just enjoy it and see what it's like.
Yes.
Turn on!
Oh my god!
You okay there?
Yes, no problem.
We're gonna go into review mode now, and I'm gonna explain to you guys what I'm feeling now and what it's like to drive this car. Looking at the gauges here, it looks different to any of the other models. This is electronic, isn't it?
Yeah, it's half electronic, half
electronic,
analog.
Yeah, I've always said that the M2, and you can check back, I'm quoted as saying the M2 normal one has too little power, and a lot of guys don't agree with me on that one. But and I get that the M2's more S2000 Honda than M3 performance pack, but I want my M3s to be a little bit scary. I want my M3s to hit me in the back like that, and when they accelerate.
This is M2.
Sorry, yeah, but M cars, sorry.
M cars.
I want my M cars to do that. And the M2, as good as it was, and it's a good car, don't get me wrong, I always felt like it had too little power. And this car fixes that problem. So now, if I want to get sideways like this, I'm joking.
That's funny.
If I want to get sideways, then I can. If I want to drive fast, then I can. It's a bit more knife edge than the old one, because the old one on a road like this, it will never misbehave. But this one,
do you feel that left, right, up, down? Not
really, eh? Look, the BMWs do have a toe out setting on a lot of them, so the back moves. So what you got to do is get used to the back moving.
It's difficult to explain because I had an Audi Quattro before, and I'd driven faster than that around the corners without being feared. Like this.
Shoo! Yes, this thing is nice.
Okay, that was fast.
Okay, you felt the back move a little bit there?
Yes.
So the thing is, man, you've got to get comfortable with those little movements. You got to get comfortable with those little movements, because that's what this car does. But the key is, you know, when we cover the lessons and stuff, there's so much to learn, and it's going to be a great journey.
So from next year, we're going to start. You're going to teach me the limits of the car.
Yeah.
And then if I know the limit of the car, I'm very comfortable at driving high speed because I know where the limit is of the car.
Yeah.
Should not reach it.
But having said that, I don't think it's the limit of the car that you need to learn. I think it's your own personal limits that you need to learn.
Now.
Yeah.
In the beginning.
And I think that if we're jumping around, guys, I'm sorry, but this conversation is just super interesting and the car's amazing. This video might go on for a little bit because I just want to drive this car and really get to know it. So your personal limit is what we need to work on, and that's a case of technique. So for example, if I want to pull away fast here now in first gear and I don't want the car to step out, okay, then I'll put my foot down and feel and modulate the throttle as necessary. See, the traction on the control light just briefly flashed on. Yes. There was hardly any wheel spin. So my throttle pedal is controlling how much power is getting put down, and that's very important. So let's say the throttle pedal is from 0 to 10. I'm gonna count out where my foot is, and on a car like this, that is very important, because you can't just put your foot flat in this car.
Okay.
It's a bad idea. So the throttle pedal is not a on-off switch. It's a volume knob. So now we're gonna go third gear, 3 here. Okay, I'm gonna brake, at a 3, because it's a road, you're not going fast. 5 on the throttle. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You check. So even on a corner like this here, I'm not going flat foot yet until there. You know what I mean? I'm not going flat out until I know that it's safe to do so. I know that the car's not going to step out. Like this corner here, we'll go now 3rd gear. Still half throttle, 6, 7, 8, 9, flat. Braking at, let's say out of 10, I'm braking at a 3 now. Now I go 4, 5, 6, 7. So I'm controlling the throttle position. And at 5, this car's probably not going to step out. But if I'm going a flippin' 10 around there, it's probably going to step out. So the key is to modulate the throttle and control. You control the car, not the other way around. Other than that, the car itself, I mean, it can't be faulted. I need to get this car on a racetrack. This is a car that needs to be driven on a racetrack. What's the fuel consumption like? Don't care.
Yeah, sort of.
It feels like a better M2. It feels like a better M2. It feels tighter, it feels faster, and it feels the right kind of fast. I like that they've added that power to the car. Yes, this thing's mega. Only thing is, like I said, we're nowhere near the limits of this car, and we can't be. I mean, the tires on here are Michelin Super Sports, which are some of the grippiest tires you can find for a road car, and you need a racetrack to be able to exploit that kind of grip, and we just don't have one of those right now. But yes, so what a car, eh? It's very difficult even on this road to really figure out what I like and don't like about this car. This is the kind of car that it needs to be on the limit, I think. You need to get it to that point. I do feel the steering's a bit vague now. Can we change the steering to another mode, like one click up?
There we go.
What is it now?
Sport.
And what is everything else set to?
Sport plus, everything.
Okay, so everything else set to Sport Plus. Okay. So the steering's now a bit heavier, and oftentimes what happens with these cars is they just get heavier. There's no extra feel. The steering is just heavier now. And I can feel this, but let's see if there's any extra feel here. There's still a shitload of grip though. There's still a hell of a lot of grip, like the M2, the standard M2. There's still a lot of grip, so there's not this excess amount of wheel spin or this excess amount of power, I don't think. I think there's a little more than it needs, but it's not this huge 50 kilowatts extra type of situation. Yeah. The steering now is starting to load up a little bit, but it's still super vague. I don't really feel much through the steering wheel, but that doesn't mean that the steering's not good. It just means that there's not that much feel coming through the wheel. Yeah, it just means that there's not that much feel. Okay, you felt that?
Yes,
yeah?
that's okay.
So that was, look, the car, the speed of the car and the gear that I'm in is very important. So if I'm going through that corner at the top of 2nd gear, and the car's traveling, let's see what the top of 2nd gear is in this car. So the top of 2nd gear, this car is about 80, 90, let's just say 100, yeah? So let's say I'm going through that corner at 100 or at 90, and I'm at the top of 2nd gear, and the car does that. The wheels can't spin much faster than 100. What happened here is that the wheels, I think you shifted up into 3rd gear there. The car was traveling at 100 or at 80, and the wheels suddenly shot up to 140. So when that happens there at 3rd gear, then you got a fucking problem. You know what I'm saying? So we go through there, and that's a 2nd gear corner. We go in 3rd gear, and I've floored it, and that happens. We're gonna have a big moment, or we'll have a bit of a slide. But if we're doing it at 2nd gear, and the car just does a little bit of a gentle slide in the end there, that's okay, because the wheels can't spin any faster. They're just gonna go a little bit faster than you're traveling. The car will step out a little bit, and that'll be it. And you'll feel that sort of floating sensation.
I hope so.
Yeah, well, not today.
Not today.
When we go on the track, we'll play around with all of those things.
Yes.
We all knew that I was going to say this car's amazing, because it is. Only thing is, steering feels a bit dead. But that, like I said, that doesn't mean that it's not good. The S2000 steering, and I keep making that comparison, but the S2000 steering was also terrible as far as feel goes, because it was one of the first electric power steering systems at the time. But it was still really, really good and direct and fast and precise. And that's what this is. I mean, you can drive this car very fast around the racetrack. Is the suspension on the maximum hardness? Because that's quite soft.
There's no adjustments.
Okay.
This is it.
But that's not bad, eh?
This is it.
Yeah, no, that's not bad. That's really not bad.
Should I lower the car?
No, I would never lower a standard performance car like this, but I'm a bit of a lamer when it comes to those type of things.
But the M Performance suspension, like that they sell, lowers about 20 mil.
Oh, is there a performance? Okay, well, in that, if it's a BMW approved thing, then maybe
40 grand. Jeez.
Maybe not.
Yeah.
As the power goes all the way to the red line, eh?
I know.
All the way. It literally just builds and builds. I mean, even if you hit the limiter, I'm sure it feels like it's going to go further than that.
I've never hit the limiter though.
Really? Never?
Damn. Yeah, you are right. It does feel like it just keeps pulling.
Just keeps pulling.
Like a natural aspirated car.
Yeah, it does.
There's no lag. There's no...
I honestly, there's a little bit of, I wouldn't say lag even, it's just a little bit dead at the bottom, but it's that kind of deadness that you'd feel even in an NA car.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's no, it doesn't feel like there's build-up of boost, and I mean, I wasn't really paying attention to that much now. I need to drive this car a lot more to notice all of those little things, but it feels like a normally aspirated engine. It feels like a good normally aspirated engine.
Yeah. Yes. Look, you will feel the deadness in the lower RPM because it's got two big turbos.
Yeah.
So obviously, you know, there's going to be a little bit of turbo lag before under 2,500 RPM. You know, but once you're in the rev range, the sweet spot, and you don't go further down the sweet spot,
then it's just there all the time.
Pulling. My stomach's a bit settled.
So that's it, guys. Thanks for joining me while I was driving the M2 competition, and thanks to Kenji for letting me drive this thing. I don't know what he was thinking. We knew the car was going to be good, and it was. Thanks for watching, guys, and if you want to see the full driving lesson, go to Kenji's channel and check it out there. Cheers.